What if your safest decisions, the ones you swear are entirely yours, were actually pre-programmed? Imagine believing that you chose your career, your partner, or even what you ate for breakfast this morning. Now, imagine discovering that these choices were subtly dictated by invisible forces. This video will make you question the very notion of free will. We like to believe we are the captains of our souls. We tell ourselves a story called The Confident Lie. It starts with a major decision you made recently. Maybe a career change, maybe a big purchase. You analyzed the data, you weighed the pros and cons, you affirmed with conviction, I chose this. But did you? We need to introduce the concept of the illusion of control. It is the psychological tendency to overestimate our ability to control events, when in truth, powerful forces are in action. We are about to expose the subtle mechanisms that dictate your choices, leaving you questioning your entire reality. First, we must enter the echo chamber of influence. We think our desires are unique. They are not. They are manufactured by invisible social scripts. Cultural norms, advertising, and social media algorithms do not just suggest things to you. They shape your preferences before you even know you have them. Consider the priming effect. Psychological studies show that if you hold a warm cup of coffee, you are statistically more likely to judge a stranger as a warm person. If you hold a cold drink, you judge them as cold and distant. You think you are judging someone's character, but you are just reacting to the temperature of your hands. If a simple temperature change can hijack your judgment of a human being, imagine what a targeted algorithm does to your political views, or what a childhood memory does to your choice of a spouse. We are constantly filtering information through cognitive biases. We rely on mental shortcuts. The confirmation bias makes us ignore any fact that challenges what we already want to believe. The availability heuristic makes us fear things that are rare, just because they are on the news, while ignoring dangers that are right in front of us. We are not rational thinkers. We are rationalizers of our instincts. But the puppet strings go deeper than society. They go into your veins. Let's talk about the strings of biology. You are being pulled by neurochemical puppeteers. Dopamine, serotonin, cortisol. You think you chose to buy that expensive watch because of its quality. But maybe, just maybe, you bought it because your serotonin was low, and you needed a status signal to feel safe in the social hierarchy. Your emotions are not spiritual messages. They are chemical reactions. And there is a stranger player in this game, the gut-brain axis. New science reveals that your microbiome, the bacteria living in your gut, can directly influence your mood and behavior. You crave sugar? That might not be you. That might be a colony of bacteria signaling your brain to feed them. Who is driving the vehicle? You or the passengers? And finally, we have the evolutionary hangover. Our primordial instincts are outdated software running on modern hardware. We are terrified of public speaking. Not because it is dangerous, but because our ancestors would die if they were exiled from the tribe. The fear of social rejection controls your decisions more than your logic does. We follow the herd, because for 1,000,000 years, the lone wolf died. We are biological machines designed for survival, not for truth. In the next part, we will see how your past is writing your future without your permission. And we will ask the ultimate question, is it possible to ever truly be free? We have looked at the biological and social puppets. Now, we must look at the loop of time. Welcome to the reality feedback loop. Our past dictates our present, even when we think we have forgotten it. We navigate the world using mental models. These are frameworks built in childhood. If you learned that money is scarce when you were 5 years old, you will make decisions from a place of scarcity when you are 50, no matter how much money you have in the bank. These accumulated experiences create a filter. You do not see the world as it is, you see the world as you were. This leads to the self-fulfilling prophecy. If you subconsciously believe you are unworthy of love, you will choose partners who validate that belief. You will act in ways that push people away. And when they leave, you will say, "See, I was right." You created the reality you feared because your programming demanded it. It is a vicious cycle of lack of true choice. And then, there is the paradox of choice. We think freedom means having infinite options. But in the modern world, abundance is a trap. When you have too many options, you do not feel free. You feel paralyzed. And even if you do choose, you are less satisfied because you are haunted by the fear of missing out on the other options. We are driven to indecision or regret, pushed by subtle signals we do not understand. So, is there any hope? Can we retake a different kind of control? The answer is yes, but it requires a paradigm shift. The first step is the power of awareness. You must accept that absolute control is a myth. You cannot control the dopamine spikes. You cannot control the childhood trauma instantly, but you can observe them. Freedom is not the absence of influence. Freedom is the awareness of influence. It is the moment you pause and ask, am I angry or am I just hungry? Do I want this job or do I just want my father's approval? This is strategic distancing. Instead of accepting your thoughts passively, you evaluate them critically. You look at your emotions as data, not as directives. You identify the external factors, the cold room, the marketing, the peer pressure, and you identify the internal factors, the fear, the hunger, the bias, and then, in that small gap between stimulus and response, you make a choice. The final step is calibration. We must actively mold our environment and our mentality. If you know you are manipulated by your phone, you change your digital environment. If you know you are influenced by negative people, you change your social circle. You align your environment with your true values so that the invisible forces start working for you, not against you. You become the architect of your own influences. This is the only true free will we have. It is not about controlling the wind. It is about adjusting the sails. The illusion of control is comfortable, but the truth of awareness is powerful. Are you ready to stop reacting and start living? The choice, finally, might actually be yours.